Good morning, everyone. We're going to start seated. So come on down and make yourself comfortable. You may or may not need your strap. We'll definitely use all of that a little bit later. But for now, just find a really comfortable way to sit. And again, right? I say this every time, but if sitting cross-legged hurts something or it's not good for, say, knee joints or your particular hip joints, just sit a different way. You can always sit with your legs out, your legs straight, one out, one in, which sometimes I like. So be sure you feel comfortable. And then I'm sitting on a little blanket, but you don't have to. And find yourself really snuggled in. And then imagine your spine getting so long. I was talking to a friend of mine, otherwise known as my husband, um, about resisting the gravity pull of this, right? So trying to find that resistance to get that front body really, really tall, and you automatically, your whole spine will start to come back into place. So think about that as you sit. The low belly draws in just a little bit, the chest rises, and yet the tailbone drops down so we're not overarching in our back. And then let the hands rest wherever they feel most comfortable. And close the eyes and find your breath. And maybe tap into the air that is coming in through the nostrils or the mouth if you need to breathe through your mouth. Um, just feel the temperature of the air, feel the length of it as you draw it in. Imagine that in-breath feeding your whole body at the cellular level. And then as you exhale, letting all of that go. Inhaling it, deep breath. And exhaling it softly, slowly. Good. Few more right here. Becoming centered on your mat, in your body, letting the rest of the chit chat of your mind go away. Good. And then open the eyes. Inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, left hand down, right arm over, just stretch it out. Let it be nice and big and easy. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the other side, and just stretch it out. Good. Take it up. Exhale, other side. Don't forget to exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Last one. Waking up our bodies. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Interlace, press it out. And then curl your belly in, tuck your chin. And then inhale, let the body come forward. Take the arms up, stretch, nice straight arms if you can. If that hurts wrists or shoulders, separate the arms. And then exhale, curl it in. And inhale, lift up. Good. Last one. Exhale. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, let go. Good. One more. Inhale, take it up. You're going to twist everything to the right. Let the hands come down, one to your knee, one behind you. Easy twist to start. Opening up both shoulders, feel the belly toned. And notice if you're leaning back into the lower spine. If you are, just bring that spine nice and upright again. Breathe. Good. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, twist the other way. Let those arms come down. Open up the shoulders, one away from the other. The chin is level. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart and shake it out. Good. And then straighten the legs and take them wide. I'm sorry, straight, but bent knees. And the feet are wide, and just do a little windshield wiper with the legs. Tends to be a little easier if the feet are wider. So Cindy, you might have to go a little wider. Yeah. And just kind of feel that internal, external rotation of the hips. And maybe you're getting a little massage, right? When you lean on that one hip, get a little massage through the glutes there. Good. The next time your knees are over to the left, hold it right there. Let that back knee drop. You might have to bring that foot in a little bit. So you're kind of in this little weird star pattern. Your left hand is going to stay where it is or move out a little bit. The back arm lifts up and it turns toward that far side. Good. Let both hands reach out. You're leaning over that left thigh and just kind of wiggle the hips a little side to side, drawing them in and letting it go. Breathe, everybody. And then let the hips become still. Maybe walk the hands out a little bit more. Maybe drop the elbows to the floor. If anything hurts these knees or hips, adjust the legs accordingly. You can bring the leg further back. You can straighten it. You can even bring the knees together. So make sure you're taking care of your body. And then in this position, I want you to hollow out your belly, right? So what does that mean? Instead of letting that belly button head toward the floor, you're going to draw it in almost like you were going to round your back. So just squeeze the belly in. You're going to feel some core work there. And then let that go. Press back into your hands. Take that right arm, swing it back around. Bring the legs back up. Always probably have to adjust and windshield wiper. Just warming up, waking up, even though it's 10:30, it's 7:30 in my body right now. And let those knees go over to the right. Adjust this back leg so that it feels okay to you. Remember, the back hand is the one that's going to swing up, turn your whole torso toward the right hand, and just wiggle out the hips a little bit. Just kind of stretching it out. You might feel the ribs moving. And then bring yourself to center. Either hold here or drop down to your elbows. This is a really nice spinal twist. Generally really accessible to everybody, and it just feels good. Plus, you've got that internal and external rotation of the hips. One leg doing one thing, one leg doing the other thing. And then again, hollow out the belly, like take your exhale and try to draw the belly button really deep into your spine. Hold that, but don't stop breathing. That's it. Just feel the core work. And then let that go. Press back into your hands. Take that one arm, reach it up, reach it over. Bring those legs back to center. Good. Straighten the legs and shake it out. Good. And then let's just do a little bit more core work now, a little bit of boat pose work. So if you need something under your butt because you're on a really hard surface, do that. But flex your feet, hands underneath your thighs. Lift up your spine, lean back just a little bit. In fact, you know what? Let's grab one of our blocks. Let's grab one of our blocks and place it right between the knees. And then feet, knees, hips all in a line, and then hold behind. Squeeze your block, lift your chest, and imagine peeling your feet off the floor. And then dropping them down and bringing them forward. So I'm just kind of sliding my feet back and then seeing if I can lift while squeezing the block. And then I'm going to drop the heels. Good. One more here. Just slide them back. See if you can lift, squeeze the block, lift your chest. Woo, release the arms if you can. Yeah, so while we're squeezing this block, it changes the dynamic of the pose. It makes us work those outer hips a wee bit more. Good, breathe everybody. Hands underneath, lift your chest, drop the heels and shake it out. And then take that same block, let's go ahead and put it between the feet. Make sure you've got your inner ankle squeezing that block so that you've got something to hang on to. Hands are behind, lean back. Start to slide those feet up. Excuse me, and see if you can lift them. Squeeze, whoo, drop, and let the feet come out a little bit. Good, let's do that one again. Flex your feet, slide them back, lift them up. Whoo, press the inner ankles into your block and lower. Last one here, squeeze, slide, lift, woo, and see if you can let those arms go. Say good morning to your hips. Woo, breathe, breathe, breathe. And lower. Woo, straighten those legs. Let that block go right between the knees and squeeze. Good. Then move the block out of the way. And I want you to just bend your feet or bend your knees and take a look at your individual. I'm just moving one out of the way, inner arch of your foot. So everybody's different. I have a high arch. Some people have a regular arch, some people have a flat arch. It's all different. But that arch is there for a reason, right? It helps our foot maintain this kind of rebound, this much like the curves of the spine. So I want to play with that a little bit. So now you know where we're talking. I want you to just take your toes and squeeze them in like you're trying to pick something up. Squeeze them in, feel that, and then let it go. Good, two more. Squeeze it in. You're really crunching the bottom of your feet. You might feel a little crampy there. And then spread your toes and drop. Good, one more. Squeeze them in. I feel that. And let go. Now, I want you to have that same motion, that same engagement of the arch without squeezing the toes. So a little bit trickier. I want you to press your toes into the floor and pretend you're going to squeeze them back. So you're not going to get as much, but you're going to get work through the arches that is kind of more normal for what we would do if we were walking. And then release it, lift all your toes. Press down. Try to squeeze and engage the arches of those feet without lifting your toes or scrunching. Release and lift the toes. Last one. Anybody feeling this besides me? Yeah. So press down. Try to pull those toes back. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Try to make the bottom of your feet smaller as if you were really scrunching them up. And release and let go. Good. Just pat it out. And then finally here, I want you to press down your big toes and lift the other toes off the floor. Really try to press those big toes. Whoo! Yeah, I feel that. And then isometrically try to pull your feet out. Keep your big toes planted. So we're doing a big stretch here. And let go. Shake it out. Press down the other toes and see if you can lift your big toes only. If you need a hand, like if you got to just like give it a little assist, go ahead and do that. Woo, feel your calf muscles. And let go, shake it out. Good, one more. I want you to press the big toes down, lift the other toes. Woo, keep the rest of your feet planted. Yeah, notice, right? I just saw Carrie lifting off the back heel there. Try to keep everything else down. And then try to pull the feet out isometrically. A little bit of work here. And release, pat it out. Last one, you're going to plant the other toes on the feet and lift the big toes. Try to keep the heels down. Holy moly. And let go. Good job, everybody. Straighten those legs and point flex. And you think, why in the world is that important? It's important. If you're standing, it's important. All right, just shake out those ankles. Good. And then release that. You want your blocks up to the front of your mat. And let's come to table pose. So I would cushion these, especially if you are on a hard surface. Come to table pose, plant the hands, and then just press out through your left foot. And I want you to think of that same area of the foot, right? That arch of the foot and the toes, and just press the heel back and stretch through the calf muscle. So I'm pressing back pretty hard. You know, relatively speaking, I feel a really nice stretch on the calf muscle. Find your breath. Squeeze in the belly just a little bit, and then come all the way up on the toes. And one more stretch. Really stretch here. Feel all four sides, all the corners there of that ball mound. And then just turn your foot sideways. So the back foot turns sideways. See if you can plant the pinky toe. And then if you look, you'll see that arch of that foot again. Try to press the big toes down, the big toe down. Press the toes down. See if you can find that arch a little bit more. Good. Release that and release that left side. Same thing on the other side. Bring the right leg back. Tone in through the belly. And press the right heel back far, far, far. Just find that stretch. You don't have to overdo it here. The belly is toned, the hips are level, just stretching through that whole Achilles tendon, the calf muscles, both above and below. Maybe getting toward the back of the knee a little. Release that, come up on the toes. Stretch back one more time. And then turn that heel down so that it would be like if we were in a warrior pose, right? Warrior two pose. Press the pinky side down, scrunch, don't really scrunch, but press the toes down. See if you can lift that arch a little more. You can even look. And release it, bring that knee back in. Good. And just come on off those hands, wrists a little bit, give them a little bit of a shake. I know. And come on down one more time, table pose. Press the left leg back. Press the heel back, just like we did before. I want you to turn that back foot down, plant the pinky side, kickstand out your right leg. I have to always adjust my right hand in a little bit because I have a wide stance for my hands. Once your right hand is where you want it, I want you to take your torso sideways, but keep the long leg planted. And then take the left arm up to the ceiling. Yeah. Nice long tailbone, nice tone to the belly. Press the pinky side of that left leg down into the floor and then press the toes down too. Good. Release that side. Come on back. Come on back. Other side, you're going to press the right leg back. Press the heel back. Turn the foot. Scrunch your toes. Adjust the left hand if you need to. Kickstand the left foot out. That just gives you a nice wide base. And then press through that pinky edge and press the toes down. And you should find a little tiny more space underneath the arch of that foot. Breathe. And come on back. Last one on this, we're going to the left leg. Press the heel back, tone in through the belly. Drop the foot to the side position. Press the pinky toe. Kickstand the right foot out. Same as what we did before. Plant your right hand. Take the left arm up. Really squeeze your belly. And then if you feel balanced, lift the left leg off the floor. I want you squeezing that glute. Good. And flex the foot instead of point. Breathe, everybody. You got this. And let go. Ah, good. Shake it out. Last one, last side. The right foot goes back. The right heel presses back. I always think about toning in through the belly and then turn that right foot to the side. Press the pinky toe down. Kickstand out the left foot. Adjust the left arm if you need to. What you want to start is that left hand is in line with your shoulder, but slightly forward. Because when you lift the leg, the shoulder will come forward, the torso will come forward, and then your wrist and shoulder line up. Your right arm goes up, the back is long. Big deep breath, everybody. And release it. Come on down. Good. If your feet allow, curl your toes under and see if you can sit on those toes. If you can't, if that's like heck no, bring the torso forward and just see if you can curl, right? See if you can curl it all. If you can, great. If you can't, please don't hurt yourself. I know a lot of you have some foot stuff going on. Big deep breath. And then imagine pushing your toes into the floor. Yep. Release, come on back. Keep those toes flipped under and downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, adjust the hands. Make sure your fingers are spread out. Maybe spread the feet a little bit more. Pedal one foot and then the other, but go slow. So when you go slow, one knee is bent, the other leg goes towards straight. And again, we're stretching through the same area at the back of the calves, the Achilles. Good, couple more. Ooh, a little pop on the ankle there. That was nice. A good pop, not a bad pop. And then both feet go wide on your yoga mat. Feel the corners of your feet match the corners of your mat. So my feet are right along the edges. Press straight back, good engagement of that upper back, and walk those hands back. You can move your blanket out of the way if it's there. Bend the knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Good, just shake out those hands. I know they can get, even though I know really good mechanics for all that, they can get cranky with all that weight on them. So find mountain pose. Actually, grab a block. And we're going to start with it between the thighs. And I like the long version if that works for you. If it doesn't, go short. And then go to the edges of your pinky toe side of your feet, and spread the feet back down. Keep the toes lifted. Squeeze your block. And then squeeze the block so that you lean into the big toes more. You feel that? And then let it go out to the pinky side. Again, easy here. And then squeeze the block until the feet level out. Let go. One more right here. Ankle strength, super important. Squeeze in and then let your toes down. And feel how grounded you feel right here. We're going to do the same thing we did on the floor. I want you to press the toes down. Imagine that you're going to squeeze those arches up. And release. Drop down. In fact, if you can, stay balanced, scrunch your toes up. So you're really losing a lot of your foot surface. And let go. Now, mimic that feeling, press down into the feet. Try to draw the toes back. Notice that like things are happening up here when you're playing with your feet. What the heck? And let go. Good job, everybody. Press your big toes down. Lift your other toes up. Try to keep the head level. If you have to look just to make sure you're doing it, do that. But otherwise, keep the head level. Drop those toes. Press down through the toes. See if you can lift your big toe all by itself. I read an article where they said you should have control of every single toe. And I'm like, no way. I'm doing really well here to get these babies going. And release, and then press your big toe, lift your other toes, and then try to pull the feet away from each other. Again, isometric work, working with the tendons that can cause the bunions, right? So working with that. And let go, everybody. Whew. And then just see if you can rock up and down a little bit. Just soften all that out. Bring that block down to your ankles. I've got mine on the medium height and the narrowest width, and squeeze in. All right, so balance work here. If you need a wall or something, we're gonna do heel lifts. The block actually helps a lot with this. So just lift and lower, lift, lower. So again, interesting, especially if you've had a broken ankle or a twisted up ankle, sprained ankle. As we get older, we can lose the strength and mobility of the ankles. And again, if you watch people walk, you see it really easily. So keep going while I'm talking. Don't give up. So strengthening the ankles, strengthening the calf muscles are going to allow us to walk and be mobile much longer. Good. Anybody feeling these? Woo, yeah. Good. One more, one more. We're going to do one more of these. I want you to squeeze the ankles, but turn the toes out. So it's kind of the ankle and the heels that are holding on to those blocks. Give it a good squeeze. Now you feel your butt. Let's do 20 of these. One, whoop, two. I'm going to move up a little. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 9, 10 more. 10. Outer hips, glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5. Hang on to that block. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoo! Nice job, everybody. Shake it out. Grab your block. Take it between your thighs. Nice and high if you can. Squeeze in. Whoo! Feel that nice little energy there, that good reset of the hips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down, have a seat. Now, if you're doing chair pose, and I talk about this a lot, we're going to come back to this in a minute. If you're here and those knees are shooting way past, I want you to bring those hips back like you're sitting back on a chair or leaning back into a wall. Then everything else lifts. So feel the block, give it a good squeeze, maybe walk the feet in a little bit. Feel your body, quads are working, knees should be okay. You should clearly see your feet. From here, I want you to lift all your toes. Yeah, so as soon as you get those toes out of the picture, you have to work with your balance a little bit more. Take the arms out if you'd like. Notice I'm not in a deep squat here. I'm really lengthening my tailbone. I'm squeezing that block. And stand up all the way. And exhale, let go. Nice. Take that block out. We're almost done with this little part of this class. You're going to have both blocks in front of you. You got to stand wide on your mat. So turn sideways. Both feet pointing straight forward. Straight forward. And then deep hinge from the hips. Bring the butt back. If you could line up your outer ankle and your outer hip, or your ankles and your hips from a straight up down line, that's what I'm looking for. And then just take your hands to your blocks. Your feet are straight. You can even pigeon toe a little bit. In other words, if you want, you can drop the heels out slightly and the toes in slightly. Just see how that feels. And then press both legs out away from each other isometrically. Lower the blocks by 1. For some of you, this is just super easy. Your hamstrings are nice and open. For those people, you can bring your elbows down to the blocks. Otherwise, stay up higher. Watch your bodies. Watch your body mechanics. Push out through the feet. If you are on elbows, go ahead and put the hands back in. Once again, I want you to press the toes down and see if you can lift those inner arches by drawing the feet or the toes back or pressing down and back, more isometric work. And then let go. Lift all your toes. And then press down and see if you can squeeze them back again. Woo. And let go. I'm going to try to mirror here. So leave your left foot exactly the way it is. And my one friend out there who's got some knee issues, please modify. Leave your left foot where it is and turn your right foot straight out, but keep your body where it is. Now, if this feels really funky, you don't like this, it feels weird on some part of your body, then just shift out of it or don't turn the right foot quite so straight. And just kind of notice, where is this pose going to? This is the alignment for warrior, for triangle, warrior two, triangle, extended side angle. Start to walk your blocks over to the right. Keep your feet where they are. One foot pointing straight ahead, the other one pointing sideways. And then bend your right knee. Yep. So we're warrior two in it. Take your right hand to your right knee and push all the way up to warrior two. Notice that the feet did not change. Front foot, press down the toes, see if you can lift that arch any amount. Back foot, see if you can reach into the pinky edge, squeeze the toes back and lift that arch. So we're changing the target of warrior two by looking at the arches of the feet and how they affect the pose. Take your hands down to your hips. Notice your front knee. Make sure that front knee is not rolling in. Yep, if you have to, you adjust that front heel. Good, breathe. Push both legs away from each other. Tone in through the belly. Lift the arches. Whew. You should feel your behind working. And release the arches. Take your front forearm to your front thigh. Push through the back leg, back arch. Take the top arm over ear or straight up. And breathe. Extended side angle. Good. Push everything up. Hands to hips. Listen up. You're going to take your front foot, the one that's straight. Turn it back. Good. Hinge at your hips. Grab your blocks. Come back to a forward fold. Look at the arches of your feet, whether you are flat or high or anywhere in between. Strengthening the arches is a good thing. So I just want you to press into the toes. See if you can lift those arches. And release that. You're going to keep the right foot where it is. You're going to turn the left foot out as straight as it'll go. You're going to notice some differences. I certainly notice a difference on this side. My right foot does, or my left foot doesn't want to turn out nearly as much. So I'm going to stay here for a second and just see what's happening. I'm going to walk the blocks that way. Maybe adjust the foot again. And then bend the front knee. So here we are again, warrior two stance. Left hand to left knee, push up. Warrior two. Check the front heel. Check the back leg. Imagine that your back foot, you have a wall there and you're trying to push the pinky edge of that foot into the wall that's at that back leg. You should feel the glute become more active. Watch the front knee. If you look at your front knee and it's rolling in, there you go, Cindy. Adjust the heel in a little bit to get the knee to kind of straighten out. It's really more of a front hip issue, but straightening that heel helps a bunch. Push the legs away from each other. Squeeze them toward each other. Lift the arches. Good. Take the front forearm to the front thigh, extended side angle. Breathe, everybody. And press up. Ooh. Hands to hips. Take that front foot, turn it back. Hinge at your hips. Come on down. You can either take your hands to your blocks or you can take your hands to the floor. Breathe. And then where you are right now, all I want you to do is take your feet and turn the toes out. Don't change anything else. Use your blocks if you need to. And then lift them and turn them back in again. Maybe even a little pigeon toe. Lift, you're pivoting on your heels, turn them out. When you turn out, press all the toes down. And when you lift, turn them in. Good. And then heel toe in enough to get some support. Bend your knees, hands to knees. Come on up. Good. Shake everything out. Right? So that arch, and you can even, if you're home and you have a washcloth, you can work on picking up the washcloth off the floor, just by doing that. And you can play even without picking anything up. Just imagine picking up something with your feet to work those feet in the bottoms of the feet so that you get strength there and they don't become too loose, too flaccid. All right, back to the front of your mat, everybody. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend the knees. I want you to step back. I'm going to play here a little bit for my friend Michal out there. So, warrior one instead of warrior two. Front hip rolls back, both hips pointing relatively forward. Now I want you to play with that back foot. So feel where it is, press into the big toes, and imagine the muscle energy from the back foot to the back glutes. The front foot, I want you to press the toes down and try to lift the arch as if you were going to drag that heel back. Feel the hamstring. Smooth out your front toes, bend your front knee, squeeze the belly in, and warrior one. Breathe. Now, take that front foot and the back foot and try to push them away from each other. That's it. So you're trying to make your pose wider or longer, really, without moving anything. Good. Breathe. Hands come all the way down to the floor. Gentle here. Step back, downward facing dog. Adjust both legs. And shake it out. Come to plank pose. Lower your right knee. Kickstand out the right foot, turn the left foot. We were here earlier. Lift the leg if you can. You're turning your back foot. There you go. And breathe. You can either keep that leg grounded, press the pinky toe down, or you can lift the leg better. Nice adjust there, Carrie. Lengthen the belly. Exhale, come on down. Drop that left foot, straighten the right foot. Here we are, plank pose, belly work. Ooh, we can do this. Downward facing dog. Find your breath. Step forward with your right foot. So to get to warrior one from here, you're going to be too long. So you got to hop up a little bit. Drop your back heel, walk your hands to your knee, and come on up. Inhale, reach up. See if you can find the arches. Have the front knee bent. Open up the front of the body, everybody, and then push both legs away from each other. Nice job. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Step back, down dog. Make the pose long. Pedal it out. Drop the left knee. Kickstand the left foot. Turn the right foot to the side. Come into this little side pose. Lift the leg optionally. Take the arm up optionally. Breathe. And release. Go right to plank. Find your pose. Lower both knees to the floor. And come to child's pose or something that you can take a moment to rest. And breathe. That's it. So do me a favor, come on out. And I want you to grab both of your blocks because I realized something as I was teaching there. I want you to take one block kind of toward the back end of your mat. When we talk about plank pose, it's not something I've ever really broken down or not in a while. So I want to play with that a little bit because it can be a really challenging pose for some people. So the way I'd like to do it is we've got one block between our thighs where we can squeeze it. The other block is going to be back toward the end of our mat. And let me show you, it's just, you got to find the distance. So I'm going to walk my feet back so that when I come to plank, I feel that block at my heels. So we start there. And the big thing about plank, by the way, you can do plank on your knees. Squeeze the block, don't worry about the back one. But if you come up, find the block, it's a little tricky because it's low, and then squeeze your block between your thighs and really energize so that the hips are level. I'm really lengthening my tailbone here. And then I want to squeeze a big beach ball between those arms so that my shoulders don't collapse and my elbows are straight. Feeling that, everybody? And then go right to down dog from there so that your heels are resting on the top of your block. If you need to, just walk the hands back a little. Look at your feet. Press the big toes down and breathe. And then imagine holding the beach ball between the arms. The upper back is doing the work. I'm pressing the weight away from the heels of my hands, digging the tips of the fingers in a little bit, pressing the energy back toward the heels. Good. Inhale, tip your toes. Exhale, lower your knees. Come on out. Take that block out. So we find that plank pose and down dog are so much about this area of the body and moving it out of the weight of the wrists. It's really a tricky thing, but the more and more we work on it. So if you took your hands out and squeeze, imagine trying to squeeze the arms together, but there's no room for it. And then draw the shoulders back. Yeah, there's that back body. That's down dog. That's plank pose. So take that same thing here, all fours, table pose, squeeze the arms, but externally rotate the upper shoulders. So the elbows are facing, the inner elbows are facing the thumbs. Squeeze in here. Just straighten one leg back. We were here this morning. Press the heel back. Lift the other leg. Both legs straight. There's your plank. Squeeze the upper back. Fire up the legs like you got a block there. Woo! Lift the hips. I have to walk my feet in a little bit. I'm not sure where that changed. Maybe I got taller. But same thing with the arms. Imagine you're squeezing a beach ball. The latissimus dorsi, the upper back, fires up to support your pose. Press into the thumb and index finger. Press the feet back. Well done, everybody. Take those feet wide. Walk the hands back. Bend your knees. Come on up. And shake out those hands. Shake out the wrists. I had a chiropractor yoga teacher friend of mine say, if you feel your wrists, squeeze right at the lower forearm, just squeeze. This helps those little baby bones in there, two small bones, and to get back into alignment and shake it out. So come on back to the front of your mat. You can have your blocks there. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Find your breath there. Nice long hamstrings, sit bones lifting up. Find your breath. Bend your knees and step back with your right foot. So you're in a lunge here. Take a look at your front foot. Press down through your toes and see if you can fire up the arch, the inner arch of that foot. And then slowly keep that lift, but slowly begin to straighten the front leg. It might not go all the way straight. You might have to walk your blocks back. Press down through the toes. Notice if you are rolling in or out with your ankle. Find your breath. Lift all your toes. Once you lift all your toes, spread them. Spread all your toes, create space between every toe. Press your big toe down only. Press the rest of them back. Bend your front knee, optional. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to walk those blocks as far forward as you can reach. And you're going to lift off the back foot slowly, straighten the front leg. Variation here of warrior. 3, breathe. And then wherever you are, you're either going to step forward or you're going to lower that long lifted leg down next to the other foot. Bend both knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Shake it out. Deep breath. Good. All right, let's do the other side. We start in mountain pose. The feet are parallel to each other. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down to your blocks. Find your breath. Bend both knees and then peel your left foot back. Start here. Check the feet, check the arches. I'm going to see if I can press the toes down at that front leg to lift that arch. And then as you slowly straighten the front leg, you can walk the blocks back. You might find that your back heel drops to the side. That's perfectly fine. Open up the shoulders, lengthen your spine, and then look at your foot with a sense of curiosity. What is it doing? Where does it naturally go? Does it roll out? Mine will tend to roll out. So I'm going to lengthen the inner line of the foot to stop that from doing it. Press the toes, the front foot toes down. Try to squeeze them back. Breathe. Release that. Lift all your toes. Really lift them. Feel that front hip rolling back. Press the big toe down only. Press the other toes down. Bend your front knee. 1, you're here. You can just walk the blocks a little forward. It's a really nice lunge. Or you're going to reach those blocks forward. Lift off your back foot. Straighten your front foot. Lengthen your spine. Notice where you're putting the weight of your foot. Center of your foot. Breathe, everybody. And then slowly drop that lifted leg back down to the other leg. Take your hands to your knees and come on up. And get that blood flow back where it belongs. All right, so, we wonder sometimes, what does that have to do with anything? If you did a normal walk, if you were not paying attention and you were walking normally, where do your feet land, and how much support do you have for something as basic in our lives as walking? So if you don't look at your feet, and by the way, if you walk and look down while you walk, please stop doing that. Don't look down. Your head weighs 8 to 10 pounds. People fall because they're this. And then when they stumble, they got all this weight coming forward, among other things. You want to look forward and use your eyes to look forward and down, not your head. So, good posture, mountain pose. Don't look at your feet, but think about your feet and just walk to the front of your mat. And then stand in mountain pose and press the toes down and lift the arches and squeeze your hips and your glutes. kind of let that go because you can't walk around like that all the time. But then see if you can walk backwards. Keep your head lifted. You'll feel the edge of your mat. Good. One more time. Don't drop here. Stay long. Remember we talked about that in the beginning. You can cast your eyes forward and down and walk forward. And feel how your feet, you can't be without the feet, the toes, the ankles moving, right? So just one more time, just walk backwards. As she goes sideways and pause. Now, right? Pretty easy. We do that all the time. Now I want you to walk a tightrope. So hands on hips, try not to look down. You're going to put one heel in front of your toes and then the other heel in front, other heel in front, other heel, other heel, other heel. Where's the end of my mat? And then go backwards, heel to toe. Go slow. You can always step out if you're feeling like you're going to get unstable. Good. One more. Don't look down. Look forward. Right. So this is balance work. I'm kind of keeping my eyes trained on one little spot in front of me to help with that balance. Good. And let that go. Mountain pose. Shift into, I'm not going to mirror on this one. Shift into your right leg. Lift all the toes of your right foot. Spread them all down. Engage the whole leg. Feel the glute, feel the belly, feel the hip. Peel the other foot off and lift up. Find that still point in front of you that isn't moving. Now, I want you to bend your right knee. Careful here, especially Michal. And straighten it. When you straighten it, squeeze your butt. See if you can bend a little bit the right leg. And then squeeze and straighten. One more, bend. And straighten. Good. Either you're here, this is plenty enough, or just take that leg over to tree pose. Squeeze your standing leg, hands to heart. Breathe. I want you to feel what's going on in your standing foot and ankle. Mine's wobbling, wiggling, shifting. It's learning, it's adjusting, it's strong. Okay? And then let go, shake it out. So all that work we were doing is teaching this ankle to be stable, to go, yeah, I can support my weight. Okay? So, other side. Stand tall, mountain pose. Feel that foot. You can take your hands to your hips. Notice if you tend to lean out or lean in. Press down through the toes. Start to peel, but before you even lift, fire it up. Fire everything up. And then just lift. Maybe you level out the hips. You're going to see what's going on with that standing leg. Optional. Just a little bend of the left knee. And then a straightening. This is single leg squats. They're hard as heck. And straighten, bend, and straighten. Good. One, you're here. Two, you're going to take the right leg into tree pose. I don't want you even taking the arms up. I want you to check in with your ankle. Hard not to see the moving objects out there. And release it and shake it out. All right, last one here. We're gonna lift those heels and hold. So no blocks, nothing to help us with that. So lift, bring the inner ankles toward each other, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze your butt, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to see if you can lift your toes, your whole fronts of your feet, any amount. Yep, don't fall backwards, just lift and lower. Lift, lower. Last one here. You're simply going to close your eyes. Don't lift anything. Don't take one foot off. Just close your eyes. Part of our balance is how we see. Breathe. And open the eyes. Shake it out. Well done, everybody. All right, front of your mat. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Find your breath. Step back to downward facing dog. Find your pose. Remember to engage the upper back, to externally rotate your shoulders, and then to try to move the weight of the hands off the wrists and into the index mound and into the row of knuckles right before the fingers. Find that. You can almost lift those heels of the hand. And then float to plank. Find that. Upper back working, arms working, core working, legs working. And then lower the knees. And come to child's pose or hero pose. Nice deep breath. All right. So you're going to peel it up and then you're going to lay on your back. So come on down. Ah, that feels good, doesn't it? All right, don't get too comfortable just yet. Your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor, your shoulders are nice and wide. You can take your hands and turn them palm face down alongside your hips. And once you press into the hands, feel that press move all the way up to your upper back. Lift all your toes. Lift them all, spread all the toes. See if in this position you can lower the big toes and keep the other ones lifted. And then lift the big toes and lower the other toes. Lift all your toes and spread them all back down to the floor. Engage the feet by pressing the toes and slightly pressing them back, and then pull the heels of your feet back isometrically. There's your hamstrings. And then peel your hips off the floor and find bridge pose. So bridge pose, our feet are hips width apart. Our shins are pressing forward. Our heels are pressing back. So the legs are active. We're lengthening through the tailbone here. The shoulders are down, the upper arms pressing down to the floor. Find your breath. Maybe lift all your toes and feel how grounding the feet are if you lift your toes. Lower the toes, lengthen your tailbone, and lower your hips. Ah. Find your breath. Good. One more just like that. Press the feet down. Engage the inner arches of the feet. Pull the heels back. Lift the hips up. Find your breath. It should not hurt your head, your neck, or your shoulders. Breathe. Isometrically, feel your feet. Feel the inner ankles coming toward each other without moving. The knees are parallel to each other. And exhale, let go. Whew. Good. Take your feet wide on your mat and just windshield wiper a little bit. And then come back to center. Your feet are hips width apart. Press down through your arms. Listen up. One, you're going to go back to that first style of bridge. both feet on the floor. Second option, I want you to take your left leg up to the ceiling. Your right foot is on the floor. Your right foot's got to work hard. I'm going to press into my right foot, tone my belly, and see if I can lift my hips off the floor. And then I'm going to lower and tap and lift again. 2, we're just doing 5. 3, don't go high. 4, one more lift. 5, lower the hips, lower the leg. Almost done, almost done. Left foot down, right foot straight up to the ceiling. It stays up there the whole time. Press into your left foot. Feel the 4 corners of your left foot. Squeeze into your belly, push into your foot, lift your hip. And then let's tap it for 5. 1, 2, straight leg. 3, 4, and 5. Lower everything down. Bring both knees to your chest. Good job, everybody. Hold on to your right knee, straighten the left leg all the way down to the floor. Take your hands underneath your right knee, keep it in toward chest. And then when and if you're ready, straighten the right leg any amount. Point your toes and flex and point and flex. Woo, good. One more point. Really flex. We did a lot of work on those calves, and shake it out. And then bend that knee back to chest. Bring your left knee in, straighten your right leg along the floor. Pause here. And then straighten the left leg. And point and flex. Good. 2 and flex. Good. 3 and flex, and then just shake it out. Bend the knee, bring it in toward chest. Bring your right knee in as well. And very gently allow both knees to go to your right. Coming into a little twist here. The back is nice and broad. The shoulders are open. Breathe. Just feel your nice, easy twist. Maybe your right hand goes to the knees, and maybe your left arm goes overhead. See how that feels. And release the arms back to T position. Take one knee up and then the other. And allow both knees to go to the left. Starting there, just stretching out, letting the spine unwind. And then maybe the left hand goes to the knees, maybe the right arm goes overhead. See how it feels in your body. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Release the hands. One knee at a time, come back to center. I want you to straighten both legs down to the front of your mat. Let the arms come down along your sides. And as we ready for Shavasana, I just want you to do one more thing. As you inhale, I want you to tighten everything to center. So squeeze your arms, belly, legs, glutes, and exhale, let go. Just one more here. Inhale, squeeze everything. And exhale. And then find your Shavasana and let go. Feel the breath soften. Soften down. One more deep, big let go. And if you're ready, start to wiggle those toes. Maybe point and flex the feet. And send some love and appreciation to those feet for all they do for you every day. Slowly bend your knees. And as you're ready, draw those knees into chest. And just rock side to side. Stretch it all out. Maybe you do a little bit of knee circles here. These can be sneaky little classes. Allow the knees to roll to one side or the other, curl all the way over to fetal pose. And then slowly draw yourself all the way back to a seated pose. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling your body Bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom and balance as we make our way through the world. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. You.